Hello and welcome to Law and Order SVU here on FANVERSATION. I am Yael Tygiel. That's Taylor Gates. Hello, Taylor.
Sure is. Hello.
Hi. This is season 25, episode 10, Combat Fatigue. Before we jump into anything, I would like to apologize to Daryl, Doreen, Deanna, our D squad in the chat. I'm so sorry that I put the time wrong on the stream. It's 100% my fault.
It'd be like that.
Yeah. So sorry. Thank you for being here. Everyone who's live in our chat, everyone who's watching us live. And if you're not watching us live and this didn't affect you, well, lucky you. If you've never been here before, this is the S Review podcast, where we will provide you with a hotline if you need help. Please reach out to RAINN. Their number is 1-800-656-4673. 1-800-656-4673. Taylor, what does that spell?
It spells hope.
It does spell hope. I hope you forgive me.
Wow. Okay.
No? Okay. The perfect example. Content warning. Listen, this episode dealt with serious issues, as most of these episodes do, and I guarantee we'll say some offensive things on today's podcast, specifically because what the hell was this episode? So consider this your content warning. Sometimes the show goes dark and we make light, and that's what you need to know. Taylor,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to just start with a yes or no question. Did you like it?
I had a good time.
All right. Here's the quick app. The squad is on edge as Carisi waits for a verdict in Maddie's kidnapping case. Benson tries to help the Flynn family pick up the pieces of their broken life. All right. People, what was that episode?
It was a ride, is what it was.
Go on.
But also, there was like things that we should have explored more that we just didn't. Like, okay, Maddie's mom, like, texting with them. Why did that not come back? Really? I mean, it kind of did, because obviously she tried to, shoot him. But I think that would have been crazy if, we talked more about if she actually did get under his spell. That would have been nuts. That would have been insane. I would have loved to have seen it. Or if she was, like, being real sneaky with it and we got to see more of that. I was so sad we didn't really do much with that, because that was such a jaw-dropping moment and twist that didn't really amount to anything super fun.
I'm with you on that. One way or the other, it should have gone anywhere.
Yeah,
anywhere.
Like, you can't just throw that in for shits and giggles. Like, that's got to be a main element if you're gonna do that.
So Deanna says in the chat, the jury called over was funny, not gonna lie. Okay, so I was like, oh, so we're doing 12 Angry Men, like that's what we're doing this episode. And then the idea that isn't what we did, and all it did was remind us how broken the jury system is and how terrible the entire our judicial system is. Very flawed, and juries in and of themselves are super flawed. And this guy being like, I just want to go home. I need to pay my bills. Let's get this over with, is a huge flaw in the system. And we were like, nah, let's not deal with that.
Yeah. I do love, like, when we get a look at the jury, though. So I was really happy that we sort of started there. I don't know if anyone's seen Jury Duty, but I was kind of just thinking of that because that show was wild. And I just love a good jury. Like, even that episode that was kind of controversial, that it was like all of us waiting for the jury or something in that basement. Part 33, yeah. I just couldn't remember the exact details of it, but I love it when we get the jury involved in things and it gets a little bit crazy. And the one who was like under his spell, like, that's insane, and I was here for it.
Fine. Then go with that. Then go that direction. I will also say I got so annoyed this episode. There were so many things, like you said, the whole like Eileen and him sexting going nowhere. Here are a bunch of things that went nowhere. The sexting, the fact that he is able to influence the jury through looks, and that never came back into play. who paid his $1 million bail?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Never came back into play. There was another one. Oh, this part pissed me off so much. I'm from Canada. I don't know how your justice system works in the States, but I'm going to represent myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
You learned how our justice system worked overnight. Benson and in the motel room, after they got Eileen out, I'm pretty sure has an argument for mistrial or something. Where else did I have it? Captain Benson, that's your name, isn't it? Cool, no questions. What?
I thought it was hilarious, but I was like, did we just not have time or what? What's that all about?
Yeah, so those are just a few examples of, wait, where is this going?
Yeah. Yeah. But lots of fun lines, lots of twists that were just off the wall. So yeah, I had a good time. Although, okay, well, I'm going to say something mean, but you've warned people that we're going to do that. When Maddie's mom was like doing what she was doing this episode, I was like, this family needs to chill out. Like, there is not one moment where this family, there's not in some kind of new crisis. Like, that's so mean to say, but they're not real, right? This is a fake. This is a pretend show. So I feel okay saying it. I would never say this in real life. But like, I don't care about their family that much. Like, the Flynns are not main characters. And so we have the dad, we have the mom doing all this shit. Maddie's fine. Maddie actually, whatever. I'll allow it for Maddie. But the parents, sit down and relax. Like, I'm so tired of you guys pulling all of these crazy things and stunts. Enough! We have other things to worry about. Anyway.
I love you so much. I agree with you. I personally felt like the mom, Eileen, was all over the place.
Yeah.
She, like, when she shows up to the courthouse, not to the courthouse, to Benson's office, I think it was, and she's like, Maddie can't do this again. We cannot go through this again. Also, she brought up more things that happened, and you need to add more charges. So you don't want to do this, or you do want to do?
What are we talking about here?
And then the scene
all over the place
in the bathroom after Benson finds out about the sexting, and she hugs her. She's like, we don't need this anymore. And then she hugs. I was like, what the is happening?
We are getting too close, and honestly, I feel like they need to explore that in future episodes, because Olivia. Listen, everyone always accuses her of being too invested, blah, blah, blah. She is actually too invested in this family, because why is this woman hugging you after not even, like, the most, like, I would get it if you just found Maddie or you just lost Maddie, but all the time now? Separate. It's too much. It's too much. I can't lie. I would too if I was in her situation. It's Olivia, but you need to have some self-control.
Different reasons. Yeah. You would hug her for different reasons.
Well, yes.
We know.
Yeah. Well.
Taylor, I have to ask you something, because I know that you clocked this. I know it. I know you enough to know you clocked it.
Scared.
Who was George Brouchard supposed to be if we rip from a headline?
Oh, I mean, give me hints. Because I listen, I'm thinking of cult things because it's like the messianic nihilist. Is it Nexium-esque? Okay, yeah. Yael's nodding, by the way, to our just audio only people. That's what I was gonna say, but I was like, I don't know. When I think Nexium, I think of branding. I think of whatever.
Oh no! When he said the word Tanya is a suppressive, I went Keith Raniere.
Oh, yes. My first thought went to Scientology though, because I've watched so much.
Sure.
Leah Remini's docuseries of Scientology is so good. Everyone needs to watch it if they're even a little bit interested. But that's what I thought. But you're right. Yes, there's NXIVM parallels there too, especially with Keith, and even just his general like vibe and the fact that I feel okay saying this was a character and Keith is awful. Like, they're not conventionally attractive, right? They're a little bit creepy looking, but the fact that they have this weird charisma and ability to get people to sort of fall into their trap. You're right. There definitely is similarities there. Just when I think of NXIVM, like I said, I think of branding. I think of like the sashes and shit. But yes, of the leadership, yes.
That's the thing is I think it was clever in that there was nothing NXIVM and culty in this, but this character was George Brouchard, Keith Raniere.
Yeah, you're so correct. I totally noticed that too. And maybe that's why I kind of liked it, because the NXIVM stuff is fascinating to me.
Oh, friends, NXIVM. Wild ride.
It's crazy, guys. It's crazy. I've watched like every doc about it.
Let me give some actor shout outs since we were talking about it. So our George Brouchard, very, very creepy, played by Patrick Carroll. Great job. Very creepy.
He is great.
Hated him as a character. Great job as the actor.
No, we hate you. You personally have beef.
I don't know him. Our judge was Amy Brabson. Leslie Frey played Eileen Flynn. The dad, Peter Flynn, who I feel like he comes in and out of this storyline.
Not, yeah.
Zach Robidas, sorry if I'm mispronouncing. Maddie Flyyn played by Allison Eileen.
I have a question.
Yeah, Elaine, sorry. Maddie. Yes.
Okay. This is a dumb question that doesn't matter. But do you think this is the wig that the actor's wearing, or do you think the short hair was the wig that the actor was wearing? I couldn't figure it out.
Both.
Genuinely,
okay. I think that the hair she had when she's kidnapped is the only hair that's real. Like at the beginning, when she's in the van.
Yeah.
I think that
looked like.
That was like just normal, long, straight hair.
Okay.
This and the short when it's dyed.
Yeah, I was just curious because I was like, well, I want to know what's going on with the hair situation, because it grew back exponentially quick, like in the universe of the show. Even if months have passed, your hair doesn't look like that. Like, I'm so sorry, it just doesn't. So I was like, what? Where are we in time and space? But okay, I was just wondering that the whole time. I was so curious.
Don't worry, that thought also definitely crossed my mind. Some more actor shout outs. The lawyer that Brouchard fires was played by Brian Cade.
He was sassy as fuck.
Sassy as fuck. The asshole juror was played by Thomas Philip O'Neill. What an asshole. Slater, the girl juror who fucks everything up, was played by Phoebe Lloyd. Tanya Garcia again is Leilani Celeste. Love her. Yeah, so really good performances. I need to find something positive to say.
No, I thought it was great performances. And like I said, I mean, I wasn't bored, so that's a plus. The worst thing I can be is bored. So even if I'm like, what? If you have my attention, then we're fine, honestly. Like,
I will say, if I'm going to find some other positives, I loved something that I know I complain about a lot, is when like there are things that take away someone's ability to consent, like drug use. They're drunk or they're underage or there's a power dynamic. That it bothers me when then there's an argument that they wanted it, and all I can think is like, it doesn't matter because they literally couldn't.
Also, so 15.
Yeah, so this episode points it out multiple times that she was 15 and high, that she could not consent, even if she was like, here are things I liked. She could not consent. So I very much appreciated that was because it's one of my biggest pet peeves when that is overlooked.
Mm-hmm.
And especially in a case like this, where as things happen, I went, shouldn't this be grounds for a mistrial? Shouldn't this be grounds for a mistrial? So the fact that they were like, hey, let's make sure we point this out, I went, all right, I'll calm down.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Let's talk about Jury and Velasco's stakeout.
I had fun.
Go on.
Her little pillow was such a good move. I was like, that's genius, actually. I don't know. I think they brought out fun sides of each other because we know, like, neither of us are huge Velasco fans, but I've been liking him more and more being paired with certain people. So these new people, I think, are bringing the best out in him because I really thought the stakeout with her was fun. And then obviously one of our favorite scenes of the whole season has been the Velasco and Bruno, like, good cop, bad cop thing. And so I think that he fits in much better with these new people than he did with their old squad, for sure, because I've been, enjoying him more. And I think he's just more fun to watch now, frankly, with these new people.
All right. I enjoyed this scene as well. I think that Curry bringing the pillow is not only genius and like, yeah, she thought about this, but also like that makes sense. That's so smart. It also feels like her character very much would do that. Would pull out like a bag of like, well, here are my snacks and I'm ready to go, and here's my pillow and I'm ready to go.
Mom friend. She's mom friend.
I will say though, them calling when Eileen showed up and instead of stopping her from knocking on the door, waited till she was already inside, seems wrong.
Yeah.
Just like
probably.
poor police work.
That's fair enough. Whatever. We'll allow it.
Tara Strickland in the chat says, loved Curry with the pillow. Doreen says, OMG, Curry with the pillow. Everybody's talking about it. So Curry good. With the pillow.
Also, she did bring more baked goods this week.
Yes.
Which I was requested to talk about from a viewer. Robin from Instagram was like, are you going to talk about that? And I was like, absolutely, we will. That's her thing. That's her shtick. Then now they're not even mentioning it anymore. She just comes in with them.
I love that. I love that so much. Adriana in the chat says maybe she's wanting a daughter. I think I missed where this note came from in our conversation. So I would like you to continue talking. Tell me more. What are you thinking?
About Maddie and Benson?
Benson having a daughter?
Maybe. Because she's kind of doing stuff with Maddie and like taking her to EMDR. She feels like you could just tell her parents to do that, and also not go to your therapist, but it's fine, I guess.
This is not about Benson hugging Maddie.
Yeah.
Thank you, Doreen, for clarifying. I will say I think this is not the first time. Yes, Benson getting close to me. Thank you. This is not the first time that Benson has taken victims to her personal therapist. She's done it with Lindstrom. In fact, the episode with the girl from the Bold Type is a great example of that. I think it was that episode. Yes.
And it's all blurry when we talk about him because I just didn't care or like him at all. So
anyway, point being, it's not appropriate. So like this reminds me of, not to throw it way back, Calvin, for example. Stop taking, and then what was it when Connie Nielsen was on and she took Elle Fanning home? Stop taking victims home or to your therapist. That's not how this works.
Right. Agreed.
That's crossing boundaries and lines, and it's really unethical and dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I did like about that was that I think they are actually doing a pretty good job with the EMDR representation, because Maddie's like, listen, the regular therapy, the group therapy, it ain't working. And Benson's like, this is different. And she's right. It is different. It's definitely different. And so maybe it will work better for Maddie, which I thought was nice.
So I agree that they are representing that there are other options out there, but this show has not yet explained to me as a viewer what this is. You, Taylor Gates, here on the S Review After Show, have explained this to us. As an SVU viewer, what I'm seeing there has not been explained to me. So to me, it looks like she just took her to her therapist again.
Oh, for sure. It's the same principle. Like the same problems arise for sure. But you're right. It would be nice for them to be like I mean, you can see her doing it, but it's like, what does that actually reprocess? But like go deeper and say what that exactly means and entails. I agree. They're telling you to do homework and research it yourself, which like ain't no one got time for that.
That's why you come to this podcast.
Yeah, that's why you're here, so we can educate you.
Daryl says, I was going to rant about that, but I'm glad you addressed it. Deanna, hopefully Maddie doesn't burn the house down. Great callback to the Elle Fanning episode with Connie Nielsen.
Classic.
And Doreen says, like Finn says, you can't take your work home. You can't take people from your work home with you. Yeah. Facts. Totally. All of you, totally right. I'm trying to look through my notes and say if there's anything I wanted to say. Let's talk about the hair in the pouch, because that's another thing that I felt like Maddie told you that he keeps her hair around his neck in a pouch. Why did they not put out a warrant for that?
Yeah, that's nasty.
Why didn't they collect that evidence?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question. You know what we also didn't do is, I thought we were going, like, I feel like we went half in on so many things and we should have went full in on like a couple of them, because the other thing is Maddie is obviously, I don't know if this is an okay term to use anymore. I feel like it's been like you're not supposed to use it anymore, but I don't know what else to call it, but like a Stockholm syndrome thing with her, because she talks about how she, you know, enjoyed the bath, whatever, and she makes a comment about how he didn't look at her and like it's like he forgot all about me, which I was like, okay, that's really interesting, because she's having some of those weird feelings and he kind of like, you know, trained her brain and brainwashed her and manipulated her to wanting his attention still even after all this stuff. And then we kind of see when he questions her starting to kind of like get sucked back in a little bit. But I feel like it would have been so interesting if it was like more of that, because we introduced that a few times, but then it didn't really. I did like Carisi stepping in front of him. I thought that was a really cool and smart move, but I feel like we needed more from that aspect, because that's a really interesting and real idea to explore, and we didn't really go all in on it.
I agree with you 100%. I would have liked either this is a thing that we're dealing with now, is that not only is she traumatized and getting through whatever happened, but she has to internally battle her feelings of, I know this was wrong. I know I was captured. I know that I felt like I couldn't be free, but he did give me attention and make me feel special. And therefore, now that he's taken away the attention and making me feel special, I'm torn how I feel. I think those are very valid things that happen to people. And the fact that we chose to kind of pepper that in and not address it at all feels either do it or don't.
Yeah. Also, Walmart Rollins' sister, that whole thing barely mattered. Didn't matter to me, period. I'm going to be so honest with you, but why do we even have that if it didn't matter?
Not only did it not matter, but him being like, what is it? You weren't talking about Maddie in that moment. Okay, yes, she was. She was talking about both of them.
That's what I thought. Also, I'm so sorry. Yeah, you can't commit perjury, whatever. But
yes,
like, there's no way to prove that. Like, just fucking lie about that on the stand, obviously, because he can't prove that. That's when you fib. How is he gonna prove you were talking about your sister? He can't, bitch. Lie.
Taylor, I appreciate that you're the one who said it, because I 100% was like, lie, just
that
lie.
Is not a provable fact. Like, just, yeah.
But also, yes, you were. Yes, you were thinking about your sister, but also, where was Maddie? You were also asking where was.
You went there to locate Maddie. So obviously that was part of it. Use your brain. Stop studying other people's and use your own.
So funny. Taylor Strickland in the chat says, did the court scenes give anyone William Lewis trial memories? Listen, Spencer, was that her name? What did I say her name was? Slater. The girl, she was no what's Sarah's character?
What are you talking about right now? That ass. Not the snort. What is happening?
The juror for the first trial.
Uh-huh.
Her name was Slater.
Okay. Yeah.
What was Sarah's character's name? Bryn? No.
Yes.
Bronwyn.
Bronwyn. Yep.
Right?
Yeah, Bronwyn.
I'm Bronwyn. Freed? Yes. Okay. Whew. Slater was no Bronwyn. That's all I wanted to say.
Not even close.
So while I do understand the connections that people are making to the Lewis trial, I will say Brouchard was no Lewis and Slater was no Bronwyn.
Yes, which I was fine with because I don't like the Lewis arc. Oops.
We know.
I said that before.
Yeah, we know.
I don't need it. I had to see it again last week, so I'm gonna bitch about it because they made me watch it again last week.
I like the Bronwyn arc.
Yeah, Bronwyn's fun. I mean, you know I love a corrupt jury, as I said at the top, but I just didn't like the Lewis of it all. Bronwyn's show. William Lewis, no for me.
Oy. This episode had so much. First of all, I didn't care when it started, but then it also had so much potential. It introduced so many thoughts and was like, here's all these things it could do. And then it went, we're not going to do any of them.
Yeah, I agree. But you know, I love like the classic show up at the house and hold the gun. Like, whatever. It's a soap opera and I eat it up every time. Like, it's fine.
All right. On that note, let's go to best lines.
Yeah.
The only thing I made a note of was Sykes saying to Carisi about couples honesty is overrated in a relationship. And I went, shut up.
Yeah,
that's all I have.
Okay, I have a couple. Blame the guy who was sexually attracted to trees. Just like, what a line out of context, frankly. I never coerced anyone. I just wanted to go home. That's a mood. Frankly, that's a mood. Hierarchy of headaches, I quite liked. Giving up, I'm just getting started. So cliche, whatever. Ate it up the way she delivered it. Fantastic. Isn't that one of the joys of marriage? Says the two divorced guys in the room. Get them. The grand jury will indict a ham sandwich. Classic. Oh, my favorite exchange, and this is why I called the lawyer sassy, because it is an exchange with Brouchard with, I truly have enjoyed our time together. Speak for yourself. I think I will. I was like, that is a fantastic exchange. I thought that was so good. You've already said it, but Captain Benson, that's your name, isn't it? Yes, it is. Cool. No questions, Your Honor.
He literally said cool.
Why the cool? I literally rewound. I said, did you say cool there? Okay. Whose denial is now Shanna? Whoa. Don't talk to her. Don't talk to me either. I love it. And then not lines, but just moments. The way just Olivia ripped that pouch from him was just so sassy and fluid. It was just just yanked that sucker off him. I also want to talk about who the fuck is Bruno sleeping with?
Yes.
Who the fuck is in his bed?
Let's go there.
Let's talk about it.
Who
it
reminded me of I'm gonna say a name we don't want to talk about.
Uh-oh.
Remember Stone?
Why would you go there with me?
Here's why. Because I had said and I'd been very vocal about it. Stone is a character, and this is zero about the actor. Philip Winchester is a great actor. Stone was useless with a shirt on. And he then started sleeping around, and we got to see him more shirtless. And I went, now he is fine. He can be there. Bruno is fantastic in all types of dress.
Yes.
Dress or undress, whatever. Bruno is fantastic. So this was unnecessary.
Yeah, we better get some answers. Because what's that all about?
Daryl in the chat asks, is that his ex-wife? I don't think it was.
I don't remember what his ex-wife looked like, so we only met her super briefly.
And Doreen in the chat says, Rosie? Good. Look at Doreen remembering. I couldn't tell. Honestly, I couldn't tell either, but I don't think it was. And I'd like to know if we're going to introduce this concept that he's in bed with some girl. Go on.
Yeah, you better elaborate. Eventually.
It felt like, I'm surprised it wasn't a Velasco scene. Because, right, like there was an episode when he first started that he went on this date with some girl and there was like an issue and whatever. But interesting. Doreen says, wasn't Rosie the fire department? I think she was an EMT, but she might have been fire.
I don't remember.
I remember she was either EMT or fire.
Okay.
But I don't think that girl was her. And where is that going?
I don't know. We better find out. They can't just throw that in, not expect me to ask questions.
I'm now very invested.
Me too. I'm like, who is this? Who is this?
Thank you for bringing that up because
of course.
I didn't want us to skip over that.
Yeah.
So usually at this point, I would announce some news if there is some, or give you some information on what's going on with the show, but I don't have any. If Alexa is here, we would love an organized crime update.
Well, I have some. There's been a very funny news story. Yeah, going around.
Right. My bad.
How when they were shooting SVU, there was a little kid who got lost from their parents, and because they saw the badge that Mariska was wearing, thought she was a real cop and went up to her and asked for help. And she did indeed help unite this child back with their mother, which I think is so funny and adorable. And I just think that's such a great real life news story because it's just so funny. It's just so funny. At this point, she is a real cop. Like, come on. Give her that honorary, you know? That was hilarious. So,
thank you. I was sent this news article by multiple people over the week. And I forgot to make a note. So thank you. Wow, yes. Taylor, I am messing up left and right.
You're dropping the ball, but I'm catching it. You know, so it's fine.
Thanks. Yeah, everybody in the chat's talking about it. Amazing. On that note, it's time for some shower thoughts. For our friends who are listening in the shower. Taylor, you got any shower thoughts?
No.
Okay, then. I'll tell you all, I've been so busy. But today, after we do this, Taylor and I are going to see each other in person, and I'm very excited about it.
Not in the shower, though.
Not in the shower.
Well, no, not there.
Who knows? Who knows
where the night might take us?
Wow, Taylor, are we about to start dating? Is that what's going to happen on this podcast?
We have some news.
It's funny because Felicia and I were in New Orleans together, and I got her a coffee, I think, and she did an Insta story where she proposed to me, and I said no because I'm engaged, and apparently people started asking me about my engagement, and I realized, what?
It's to me.
It's not to you. But I realized that saying this on shows and on people's Insta stories is telling people things that they don't need to know about.
Well, I'm asking you about this when we hang out. Probably not in the shower, but we don't know.
You know about Tamsin. No? Oh, all right. Well, we're moving on. Nope, don't congratulate me. Don't ask questions.
She is not actually engaged, you guys.
I am. It's complicated.
Okay.
And those have been our shower thoughts.
That's just a gossip segment about you.
You got something better?
No.
Okay, then. And now, what did we learn? Oh shit. I learned that I'm very invested in Bruno's sex life.
Hammurabi's Code is what I learned. They talked about that, and I still don't quite understand it even after looking it up, but basically Babylonian legal text, which is cool. It's apparently the longest, best organized, and best preserved legal text from the ancient Near East, which is cool. Do you want to know something super embarrassing, though?
Please. Always.
Okay. So I had
just
to
remember this is on a podcast that people will.
Okay. Well, whatever. It's fine. It's silly, but it makes me look stupid. But I thought they said Harambe, and I was like, what does that monkey that died? And I was like, what does that have to do with anything? And so I rewound. I said they certainly did not say Harambe. They said Hammurabi, and then I had to look it up. But I was like, why are they mentioning that here? Like, I don't get it. That's because they didn't. So yeah. Fun facts.
I love it. Yeah. Isn't it? They said like an eye for an eye. Isn't that where that concept?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they're going from. But I'm sure that you learn that if you study law. I'm sure I'll ask my sister about it. She's in law school. I'll be like, have you guys heard of Hammurabi's Code? I don't know.
All right. Off to Google Tamsin and Yael, but that name sounds familiar. Almost like I can hear a disembodied voice. Daryl, you can hear a disembodied voice. Anyway, moving on. Those who didn't notice, the next episode is not until May 2nd, but also Rollins is in it.
Yay.
It also looks like Sykes is in it as well. Would love to see them meet.
Oh, I need them to duel it out. There can only be one.
I think Curry can stay.
I like Curry.
And Sykes can... I mean, Sykes comes and goes as she pleases.
She's like fine. I feel no strong way about her. She's Walmart Rollins.
That sounds like you feel one way or another.
I think that we need someone new and original, bringing something new and original to the table.
It's funny because, so we had Kat, who was new and original, and then we had Muncie, who in my house was referred to as White Cat, and then and then Velasco, who in my house was referred to as Boy Cat.
He doesn't deserve that title.
He doesn't. Oh man, Doreen called him her Dollar Tree Rollins. Ooh.
I like it better, but I do think Walmart Rollins rolls off the tongue a little bit better. But Dollar Tree Rollins is still correct.
Vicious towards Sykes. Again, as a reminder, we're talking about a character and not the actress. The actress, Jordana Spiro, is fantastic, and we love her on other things.
Yeah. I just need them to do something else with her character, frankly, if she's going to stick around, except for the sister thing that we've seen a million times.
Yeah. I just don't understand why none of the new people, not Sykes, Curry, or Bruno, are series regulars. And I don't understand why not.
I agree with that. I'm wondering, I don't know, because obviously we both know a little bit about like the biz and whatever. I know that at least Kevin Kane does other projects, and I'm wondering if he likes to stay that way so he has more flexibility to do other stuff, or if it's a pay thing. I don't know, but it's weird.
My assumption would be because of the strikes, because of the show, there's only 13 episodes this season, and this is episode 10. So we only have 3 more episodes. So the idea that it's a shortened season to save money, I can understand that. But that means that next season starts, I expect Curry, if she's staying with the team, to join as a series regular. I think Bruno has been there enough and we like him and he's fun that I would like to see more of him. And Sykes, kind of wonging it, being the FBI person. Wong was a series regular.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh man, Deanna in the chat says, I thought Velasco was a Dollar Tree Amaro. Accurate. Yeah. Vicious. True. Our audience is vicious and we love you all so much.
Spitting facts.
All right. Any final thoughts, Taylor, before we wrap up?
I don't think so.
Did you know that there are no new iTunes reviews?
That's disappointing.
It is. People, if you like us, give us 5 stars. And if you don't like us, give us 4 stars. The other stars are broken.
Yeah.
And if you don't like us, let us know why. What should we do to improve?
If you don't like us, tell me where to go fight you.
I'm going to let Taylor handle that.
What parking lot are we meeting up in?
I will sit back and cheer you on.
You think I would be a better physical fighter than you? That's crazy because that's not true.
That's not what I think. I think that you would walk into this fight and I would not.
I would not. I would just verbally eviscerate you.
That's true.
I'm joshing you. I can't physically fight, unfortunately.
No, I'm Yael. I would scream for help.
Yeah, but you could fight better than me.
Why do you think that?
That's actually what we're doing after this. When we hang out, we're gonna see who wins.
What a weird way to end our show today.
Anyway, is there ever a normal way to end the show? No.
All right. Until May, whenever we do our show, Taylor, where are you on the internet? What are you up to these days?
I am on Twitter at alphabet_Ann. I am also on Instagram at Taylor_Gates_. I write stuff for Collider, including an interview with Bruno himself that you can find in the link in the description of last week's episode, or you can literally just Google Kevin Kane Collider and it'll pop up if that's easier for you. So yeah, and he talks about who he ships with himself. And it's an interesting answer. So go read that because it's not the person in his bed. I'll tell you that much.
Amazing. I am Yael Tygiel. I am on Instagram at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. If you care about my thoughts on romance novels, dirty, filthy, smutty romance novels, check out Good Little Library Mouse. If you would like to see me on other shows where I'm much more professional and have to say nice things, check me out on Electric Now, doing the official after shows for Leverage Redemption, The Arc, and Almost Paradise. Also, Doreen, thank you for reminding me. Happy Passover, everybody.
Passover.
My bad. All right. Bye.